Pose, 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 I do adore. Pose, 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 I do adore. Ladies and gentlemen, that time has arrived. The first AP poll of the 2025-2026 women's college basketball season. I'm excited about it. How are you feeling about it? Like, I just love it. I think this is one of the greatest times of the year where we can just really talk about, possibilities. There's so many possibilities when it comes to women's college basketball. So many teams that have been reinvigorated. So much to look forward to. And we got some polls to talk about. We're going to discuss them because the champs are back on top. We got LSU in the top 5. Got South Carolina, got Duke, got Tennessee, got so many teams, and I just love it. I love it all. I love women's college basketball. It is probably my favorite sport, women's college basketball. And so, yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the polls of 2025 in the 2026 season. Anyway, let's get into it. So, UConn does surprise. I mean, dog, I don't know who's surprised about this, but here's the news. Breaking news, UConn is opening up the season ranked number 1. Fun fact, did you know this is the first time since 2017 that UConn is ranked number 1 in the preseason poll? So, it's a long time coming, but they're here now. They're back here now. This is a huge deal for a team that had a ton of dominance in the past, but has been trying to find its way. And a team that, has not necessarily lived up to their standards from the history of UConn women's basketball, but they're getting there. They just won the championship this past year, and they're looking to continue that winning streak. Geno Auriemma, he has a very, very healthy roster, right? AZ Foot, Sarah Strong, Sarah Williams. These are players who are headlining this team, and then 3 players who are going to be a huge, huge impact on this team going forward. Yes, Paige Beckers is gone, but this team has reloaded. Again, you do add Sarah, Serah, Williams from the transfer portal. She came from Wisconsin, and it was a huge transfer, right? Ashlyn Shade is looking to be even more impactful on the court, and you just kind of go down the list of other players for this UConn team, and this team is looking pretty good, right? Starting lineup likely is going to be AZ Foot, Ashlyn Shade, Kaylee Heckel. Who also came via the transfer portal, right? She was at USC last year. She's coming into UConn this year. Probably could be a starter. Sarah Williams and Sarah Strong. This is going to be a very, very good squad. It's going to be pretty interesting. So my question is for you all: do you think that this ranking symbolizes the return of sustained UConn dominance, or do you think that this is more of a nostalgic type of thing? Isn't that nice? UConn's back on top, but it's not going to last. What do y'all think about that? Anyway, so UConn, number 1, not a surprise at all. That's who I had as my number 1, and that's who's number 1. Number 2 spots goes to South Carolina. South Carolina continues to be they continue to be a behemoth in the SEC in the NCAA tournament. We'll ultimately see what happens. There's going to be some. It's either KK or Kaylee Heckel. One of the two. I could see KK Arnold starting too. Either way, should be fun. We got South Carolina number 2. They are still amazing, even though, yes, you've lost a lot of pieces, right? They, a lot of pieces. Chloe Kitts is out for the rest of the season. Ashlyn Watkins is out for the season. But the Gamecocks they've loaded up for the season. Tania Latson, last year's leading scorer in the nation. She joins this team from Florida State. You had freshman Joyce Edwards, who is now a sophomore. She was fantastic last year as a freshman. And so she's looking to do a lot more. You also bring in some other transfers, and the South Carolina team is still looking to be very, very dominant, right? And so, yes, do they have a lot of backups in case things go wrong? No, they do not. But on paper, if you look at the roster, the 10 players who are available for South Carolina, this is a really, really good team, right? So the question is, for South Carolina, as we get through the main bits of the season, will these injuries eventually come back to be a little bit too big to overcome for South Carolina? Or are they going to be able to ride with 10 during the season? We'll see. But yeah, Shamika, I do think Medina's going to be really good. I think she's going to be really good. Excited to see her play. At number 3, we have UCLA, the West Coast powerhouse of Lauren Betts, right? You got Kiki Rice, right? You got Gianna Neepkins, I should say. You got Charlize Legger Walker, right? Who's healthy and ready to go. You got Hawkes. You got Lauren Betts' sister, right? So you got some players. You got a lot of power in the UCLA lineup, right? You got post dominance. You got guards that can make some stuff happen. And I gotta say, this team is looking pretty good. They're on paper, UCLA is looking fantastic. And I cannot wait to really see both their depth and how their defense withstands specifically Big Ten play. I think we're going to learn a lot during Big Ten play for UCLA, and I do think that this team has the ability to really figure this out and really go all the way. They have that much talent. They have that much talent, and one of the games that ESPN has specifically called out of a game that you gotta make sure to watch is a game that I will actually be at. This is going to be UCLA versus Texas on November the 26th in Vegas. I will be there. And so I hope to see y'all there. I think that's going to be a really, really awesome game, not just because I'll be there, but because I think it's going to be a really awesome test to see what UCLA really has to offer and if they'll actually be able to live up to their potential, right? They're a team that looks like they could kind of stay in the top 3, top 4 all season. But if they stay healthy, and if they play the way we expect them to play, we'll see. Then we go to number 4. Number 4, we got Texas. And I gotta say, I think Texas is gonna be really fun to watch. Again, I love Texas. I think they're a fun team. Rory Harmon is back. Madison Booker is back. Right? You got Oldacre, who I loved watching Oldacre play last year. She's back. She's gonna do well. You do add in a top freshman, Aaliyah Crump. So that's something. There's still a lot of question marks about Texas. Should they be ranked this high? Should they not be ranked this high? I don't know. I think they're gonna be a fun team though. And it should we'll be able to see if they can continue on the path that they were going last year. I think they can kind of make some noise. They're a really, really fun team. They have a really, really good coach. And so, it's a question mark. It's a question mark about how competitive they can be against the top player, against the top teams like a South Carolina, like a UConn, like a UCLA. But they're really good. And Shamika says Oldacre got on my nerves, which means she's good. I loved watching Oldacre play. I really liked watching her play. I didn't even know who she was until she played. Texas played DePaul last year, and that was the first time I really got a chance to look at Kyla Oldacre, and I was like, wow, this girl is amazing. I kept pronouncing her name wrong until later in the year I found out how to actually say her name. But I loved watching her play. I think she's going to be a huge player, right? Peace Clothing says Texas will need to play Oldacre a whole lot more. She was a beast against South Carolina. Facts. Facts on facts on facts, okay? Just saying. And we kind of continue to go down the list. We got LSU at number 5. And I got to say, guys, I was actually like, whoa. All right, LSU. y'all kind of high up there on that list. I like to see that. We'll see what happens. Because LSU in a lot of ways is a big wild card to me. Right? Sure, you do bring in the one of the funnest players to watch on a basketball court, MiLaysia Fulwiley, right? You get her from South Carolina, and she's gonna likely be starting and gonna sort of run the point. She's gonna have significant time at running the point, and add her to Flau'jae Johnson, right? Big Foe. Caleb Williams, and you might have some possible noise that you can make. Now, again, to me, LSU has a lot of players that are just like, I don't know. They're kind of wild cards in a way. A lot of wild cards for this team, and specifically in some of the younger players that you have, right? Grace Knox, of course, in high school she was a beast, but how exactly does Grace play in the SEC? I think that's a big question, right? Bella Hines, right? Divine. You got you got a player like a Kate Koval who came from the transfer portal, right? There's a lot of question marks I have about this team. Yes, Bella and Grace, they're great players in high school, but college is a whole nother beast. And so, yes, does LSU got some really good players? Yes. Do they have a really good coach in Kim Mulkey? Yes. Are they still a question mark overall about how durable they're going to be and how consistent they're going to be this season? Yes. I just got some questions, and I'm very much looking forward to LSU having some answers for me, because I do think they're going to surprise some people. But how far they make it in the NCAA tournament, I think that's a question, right? Is this going to be just like an epic highlight reel team, or could they return to championship form? I think those are some of the questions that I have for LSU, right? Some of the questions I have. Right. Then we kind of continue on. We got Oklahoma ranked at number 6. And truly, guys, I was like, whoa, Oklahoma is pretty high up there, right? They're pretty high up there on this ranking. The Oklahoma Sooners, the biggest get that they ended up getting was Aaliyah Chavez, the number 3 recruit in this class. And I got to say, Aaliyah Chavez had hype for days. Hype for days, and I have a huge question mark. I got a huge question mark about how good she really is, and how she plays in college. Because her highlight reels were amazing. I thought she's fun, but I got some serious questions personally. I got some serious questions about how she actually plays in women's college basketball, because some of the stuff she was doing in high school, I don't know if it's going to totally work. I don't know if it's going to totally work in college. I just, yeah. I got some serious questions for Oklahoma. Now, in my opinion, Oklahoma is ranked way too high on this. Way too high, right? And I think a lot of it is, yes, did Oklahoma play well last year? Yes, this team was very good last year. But I don't know. Right? I just have some overall questions. RC says Quita, just because Chavez dropped 2 spots to Sienna and Jazzy does not mean she's not all that. LOL. I mean, here's the thing. I don't care about the rankings. Now, yes, she was number 3 in the rankings. I don't care about the rankings. I am fully basing this off of what of the clips I saw of her play. She is a walking highlight reel. She's fun to watch, all that jazz. But watching her highlight reel and watching what she was doing in high school, truly, a decent amount of that stuff will not work in college. Like, it just won't. It just won't. And does Oklahoma not just have the offensive firepower, but do they have the defense to make stuff happen, right? Reagan Beers, Peyton Verhulst, right? Ali Chavez. These are players who are looking to make some stuff happen. But overall, personally, I don't think they should be this high. I don't. But, hey, here's the thing. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for Aaliyah Chavez to just ball out and be like, yeah, I can do exactly what I did in high school and college. Right now, I don't think so, but we'll see. We will absolutely see. Okay? Anyway, let's continue on. Let's talk about Duke, number 7. We have Duke, and I got to say, yeah, I would have probably, I feel, to me, Duke, Tennessee, they're like roughly in the same kind of ish area, right? Duke is a really good team. They have a really good coach. They also have really good defense. And as we started to see last year, they can knock down some buckets, right? And I think that this Duke team is extremely disciplined. They bring in some additional talent this year. And as Kara Lawson continues with her system, personally, I just love to watch it. I think it's really, really, really fun. I think it's going to be really, really fun to watch Duke. But here's the thing. When we talk about these programs, we got to talk about the losses, right? We got to talk about the losses, and we got to talk about how there's a lot of teams that don't have their players anymore. And one of those teams is Duke, right? Remember, Double O, Oluchi Akanawa, she's gone. Oluchi was fantastic for Duke last year. She bounced, and now she's in Maryland. Now she's at Maryland, right? Vanessa De Jesus, who gave them some good minutes last year as well, she's gone. She's over at Notre Dame. And so, yes, there are some losses that this team has sustained, but because of their defensive identity, I do think that they will be able to withstand some of that, right? I do think they're going to be able to withstand some of that, and I think they're going to be kind of fun to watch. And so, yes, I got Duke on my list of fun teams that you absolutely have to check out for. Okay, then we kind of go down the list here. I don't think it makes sense for me to go team by team through every single thing. But anyway, we got Tennessee at number 8. Let's kind of speed this up. I didn't actually want this to be longer than 10 minutes, but as you all know, I just got a lot of stuff I got to say about these teams. I got a whole lot of stuff to say about these teams. But anyway, Tennessee ranked number 8 in this one. They're working through their new identity. I think they made some strides last year. We'll see what they can do this year at number 8. North Carolina, NC State is at number 9. And so, we'll see what happens with them. Again, North Carolina State, they lost a lot of really good players. You lost basically your heart and soul in Isaiah and Sanaya, right? You lost a lot. You lost a whole lot. Brown Sweet One says, where is that girl from LSU? Dulu Rosa. I assume you mean Aaliyah Del Rosario. She's at Vandy. She has transferred to Vandy. Okay. Vandy. All right. But anyway, let's just keep going down. Let's keep going down the line. We're going to be doing deep dives on all these teams, so don't worry. If you're like, oh, Quita barely talked about Tennessee and North Carolina State, don't worry. I'm having separate videos about these teams, okay? Separate videos about these teams, breaking down the roster, talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, we got NC State at number 9. We got Maryland at number 10. The Maryland Terrapins, y'all, Brenda Freeze is continuing to win. I have high hopes for Maryland this year. I think they're a team that is continually just, what am I trying to say? I think there's a team that is continually revamping, right? You add in Yarden Garzone, who, in my opinion, didn't get the respect as much as she deserved for Indiana. Y'all remember Yarden Garzone? She was absolutely fantastic at Indiana. She made the surprise decision to leave Maryland, or to leave Indiana, and now she's in Maryland, right? Who else did Maryland pick up? Double O, Aluchi Akanawa. They picked up her as well, right? Yes, Ali Kubek left, right? She's at Florida State. And yes, that's a loss. However, I gotta say, I'm feeling good about Brenda Freeze and the Maryland Terrapins. I'm feeling very, very good about them. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. And that's the team that I want to watch just about every single game I can. Because I think when it comes down to the NCAA tournament, I think they're going to be a fun team and a dangerous team. Call it now. All right? Call it now. All right, then we continue on. We got number 11, North Carolina. Number 12, we got Ole Miss, and I gotta say, I am a big fan of Ole Miss. I am a huge fan of Ole Miss. Ole Miss has basically, I'm getting so excited, I'm knocking over stuff. Ole Miss has basically just completely revamped their roster. Completely. At the end of the season, we saw a whole bunch of players leave. They left. Gone. You out of Mississippi. Right? And we proceeded to see Coach Yo recruit, and recruit some more. Right? And I cannot wait to see it. I can't. Right? Probably the biggest get that they got in the offseason was Cody McMahon, right? Y'all remember Cody McMahon? She played for Ohio State. I think she's a really fun player as well. I think she's someone who can absolutely thrive in the SEC. And I think that was probably the biggest get that Ole Miss had. But overall, they got some pretty good they got some pretty good players. And I love watching a Coach Yo team play. I love watching a Coach Yo team play because this team is going to be super disciplined, right? They're going to be very smart. They're going to be really good on defense, And they work. They absolutely work. And yeah, so watch out for Ole Miss in the SEC. And don't be surprised if Ole Miss starts taking down some of your favorite teams. Okay? I'm just saying. Because Coach Yo, man, that lady is going places. She's an amazing coach. She's developing an amazing system at Ole Miss. And yeah, I'm going to have to do a whole video talking about her because I think they're going to be pretty special. Shamika says Coach Yo got some dogs. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And also, you do bring over, isn't Denim DeShields related to Diamond in some way? She was at Mississippi State last year. She transferred over to Ole Miss, right? And so yeah. Anyway, I'm just a massive fan. I'm just a massive fan of Coach Yo. Jessica says Ole Miss and Coach Yo is coming for everything. Yes, facts. Yeah. She coming, and you better put some respect on Coach Yo's name and on Ole Miss's name. Just saying. And on Ole Miss, better be careful because I guarantee you, there's people looking at Coach Yo and be like, oh, she's a really good coach. Just saying. Oh, that's her sister. Okay, I knew they were related in some way. I knew they were related in some way. Thank you for that. Denim DeShields is Coach Yo's sister. Diamond DeShields' sister, who will be playing for Coach Yo. Anyway, I've been talking a whole lot more than I should have. Anyway, let's continue on. Michigan, a team that I absolutely adored watching last year. They're going to be really fun. They're number 13 in this one. They're young and they're fun. Because when we talk about Michigan, of course, we got to talk about Silas Swords, right? We gotta talk about darn it, I forgot her name. Olivia Olson. There we go. Olivia Olson. You got Sila. You got Olivia Olson, who were absolutely amazing last year. You have a lot of possible promise for Michigan. Now, do I expect Michigan to make it crazy far in the NCAA tournament? No, but I do anticipate them getting better. Right. I do think this is going to be a better team. That's definitely improving. And a game that you absolutely need to watch is Notre Dame versus Michigan, happening on November 15th. I think that's going to be a big test for both Michigan and Notre Dame to really see what both of these teams have to work with. All right, let's move on. We have Iowa State. That is Audie Crook's territory. And we all know how great Audie Crooks, we all know how great Eddie Brown are. They're amazing. And you pick up a massive transfer for Iowa State. You pick up Jada Williams, who has transferred over from Arizona. And so to me, I think that that last year Iowa State really did hit a sophomore slump of sorts. And I'm interested to really see the continued evolution of Eddie Brown, continued evolution of Audie Crooks, especially with the addition of Jada Williams. I do think that she's going to be a big help for this team, a big unlock for this team, and I'm excited to see Jada in the Iowa State system. Like I'm really interested to see her play, and so to me, that's definitely going to be a team that you need to be watching. Iowa State, watch out for Iowa State because Audie Crooks is going to cook, Eddie Brown going to cook. And Jada Williams is gonna wrap it all nicely in a bow. I think they're gonna be a really, really fun team to watch. Basically, everybody's gonna be a fun team to watch. Basically, I won't get no sleep for the next couple months because I'll be just watching college basketball because that's life, right? Let's talk about another team that is not doing too well, but they're trying to keep up hopes. They're trying to keep hope alive. That is Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame has lost some big pieces, right? You had Olivia Miles leave and go to TCU, right? You had Kate Koval leave and go to LSU. And this team is not the same team it used to be, right? Kylie Watson left, right? She's at Villanova. Emma Reich left. She's at Florida State. So lots of changes have happened at Notre Dame. And yes, they are trying to keep a positive spin on things. And they're trying to, but like truly, guys, this is not the same Notre Dame. And, you got to keep that in mind, right? They do add in Vanessa De Jesus, which is probably their biggest transfer that they got. But that's not saying too much. Expect for Notre Dame to struggle bus, okay? Expect this team to struggle bus throughout the season. You have your number one player, right? Hannah Hidalgo, she's back. She's going to score a bunch of points, right? KK Branford, she's back. She's healthy, right? So that's something. But I got to tell you, this is not the same Notre Dame team. Okay, so don't expect the expectations you had last year. They should not be there for Notre Dame this year. No. This is the Hannah Hidalgo show, and everybody else will get in where they fit in. But unfortunately for Notre Dame, they just lost too much talent. Sonia Citron was huge. Olivia Miles was huge, and they did not replace that talent. They didn't. And so, yeah. Nothing like a Jet 2 holiday. W. Bazile, you are hilarious. Oh my God. Nothing like a Jet 2 holiday. Is it? It's like, I don't know how that commercial, I think it was a commercial that someone just clipped out and they use it for a whole bunch of stuff. I love it. Nothing like a Jet 2 holiday. Yes, that's Notre Dame. Hey, here's the thing. I'm gonna be at Notre Dame games. I'm gonna be at a lot of Notre Dame. Can I talk today? I will be at a lot of Notre Dame games. A lot. Because they're not that far from me. So I will be there. And of course they play in the ACC. And so I want to watch a lot of ACC games. And so I will be at Notre Dame a lot. But I got to say, don't expect this team to win a bunch in the ACC. I tell you, this team is going to struggle. Okay? That's all I got to say. They're going to struggle. Absolutely struggle. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I doubt it, but I am very much in favor of being proven wrong. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's continue on. We got Baylor. The Baylor Bears at number 16. This is a team that Shamika says, seems like you are talking at 1.5 speed today. It's because I'm trying to get through this stuff as quickly as possible. But yeah. Anyway, we got Baylor at number 16. I think it's fine. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have a ton of thoughts about Baylor, other than I'm excited to see what Talia Scott can do. That's something that's going to be really, really interesting. Remember, guys, Talia Scott, she started off at Arkansas, and then she transferred to Auburn at this before last season, and she only played in a couple of games, and then boom, she was out of there. Now she transferred over to Baylor, and so I got a lot of things I want to see from Talia Scott. I think she's a huge talent and will end up being the best player on this team. Yes, I want to see what Talia Scott has to offer. Other than that, I have no real opinions about Baylor, but I will be doing a deeper dive about them I don't have a ton of opinions about them. Anyway, let's go to TCU Horned Frogs. And I got to say, this is a team that is, I mean, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I just got to say that. No, I don't anticipate. Now, will TCU be a good team in their conference? Sure. But are they Elite 8 level? No. I don't think that TCU will be as good. Yes, you do add in Olivia Miles, and that's huge. That's great. That's fantastic. However, I don't really see it. I don't really see it. But, there's that. Anyway, let's move on to number 18, the USC Trojans. This is a team that is, they're talented, but they're very unproven. Right. Remember, guys, Juju Watkins is out for the season. And then, yes, you do bring in a top-notch recruit in Jazzy Davidson. But there's a question mark of, like, is this even a top 20 team? Is it? I don't know. Right? You do bring back Kennedy Smith, who was, in my opinion, really fun to watch last year. I think she's one of those players who does all the little things, right? You do get London Jones, who has basically come right down the street from UCLA to USC. There's some overall question marks with USC, and like, do they actually have the I don't know. It's a similar question. It's a similar thing that I think of when I think of Notre Dame, right? It's a similar thing where it's like, I don't see you being as good as you were last year. I just don't. Right? Yes, you do have some talent on your team, but like, I don't know. And again, similar to Aaliyah Chavez, I just want to really see what Jazzy can do in college. Because again, just because you were good in high school does not mean you're going to be really good in college. And so like, there's just a transfer of that talent. I just got some question marks. I got some overall question marks of who in the world is going to lead the offensive charge at USC now that Juju's out. Because Kennedy is a baller, but Kennedy is a defensive first type of player. Right? And yes, you do add in Kara Dunn from Georgia Tech, but still, they're just, I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the number 19 team in the country, Vanderbilt. Vandy. I gotta say, I am continuing to I'm continuing to like Vandy. Now, is Vandy going to be dominant in the SEC? No, they're not. But I think Shea Ralph is a really good coach. I love that Michaela Blakes has stayed with this team. I love it. And I would love to continue to see Michaela Blakes stay on Vandy. I think there's a lot of potential there, right? There's a lot of potential there. But yeah, just overall, I don't know. I like the team. Yeah, ball for real. Yeah, that was a huge loss. Losing Pierre was a huge loss. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember. I don't remember why she, like, what was said when she left the team. But like, it seemed like it was gonna be her and oh my goodness. I'm blanking on names. It was gonna be Pierre and Blake's that was gonna dominate this season for Vandy, and then Pierre is gone, and so yeah, it's a lot of question marks about this team. But I gotta say, I'm a fan of Mimwatanda. I'm a fan of her. She was at Texas last year. Now she's at Vandy, right? Michaela Blake's is gonna be fun. Now, is this team gonna win a ton of games and be very dominant? No. But I do think they're continuing to like grow in their culture. And they're continuing to Just really develop an identity of a competitive team. But no, I don't anticipate them. Like, it's all about my expectations coming into the season for these teams. And like, yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's talk about Louisville. Louisville Cardinals at number 20. To be honest with you, I don't have really much commentary at all about yeah. Ayanna Moore did leave Vandy. Yeah, she did leave Vandy. Yep. I don't have really much to say about Louisville other than that they're number 20, and we'll see what they can do this year. Okay, number 21, we got the Iowa Hawkeyes. Hannah Stokey is another year wiser. I think she's going to be a player that you absolutely have to watch out for, and a player that hopefully should make a bigger leap this year. And to be honest with you, besides that, not too much commentary on that front. I think Iowa has some good players that have come in via the transfer portal, via freshmen, but I don't know. I just got some overall questions about them, right? Number 22, Oklahoma State. I gotta say, guys, I am a gigantic fan of Oklahoma State. Like, I am. I became a fan of them last year, and it could be that I like their like name, like they're the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. I just think that's so fun. It could be that I like their colors, and that I like just the OS and U and that word, that letter mark. That could just be it. It could be that I am a huge fan of their head coach. There's just a lot of things that I really like about Oklahoma State. I think that this is a team that is starting to really develop into their own, right? JC Hoyt. Forgot how to say her last name. But anyway, I think she is a coach who is still trying to like ingrain the culture and identity that she sees on this team. I think she's really trying to hone that in. I thought that this team last year was very, very good. And well, they're greater than I thought, to be honest with you. I didn't anticipate Oklahoma State being as good as they were last year. And to be honest with you, before the season started, I wasn't really checking for Oklahoma State. But as the year continued to go on, I started finding myself like actually watching their games and actually being a big fan. And so, yeah, we'll see. But Staley is probably my favorite player. Staley Hurd is probably my favorite player on the team. And I'm interested to ultimately see what they can do this year. I just think they're fun. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. I just like Oklahoma State. I do. There's just something about them. I just like them. All right. Next up, 23. We got Michigan State. Grace Van Sluten is fantastic. Other than that, they got a lot of transfers, and we'll see what they can do. We'll see what they can do. All right. Uh-oh. I didn't have that on the screen. And then also for number 24, we got two teams tied for number 24. We got Kentucky and Richmond. Kentucky, yeah, you lose a player like a Georgia Amore, right? You are a totally different team. So yes, I'm not surprised about that 24 ranking. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were outside of the top 25, because this is a team that just, I don't know, what in the world is your identity now? Like, I don't know. I got a lot of question marks for this team. A ton of question marks, because Georgia Amore was huge, absolutely huge for this team. And like, I don't know what they look like. I guarantee you this is gonna be fun to watch. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. And then Richmond, again, not much of anything to say about them. This was a team that made a lot of noise last year, but I didn't watch a ton of Richmond last year. I gotta I gotta get back going with checking in on certain teams that I don't know as much about. And so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I mean, not very informative about every single team, but it is what it is. I'm gonna make videos about all the teams. Just try to really kind of get going again when it comes to women's college basketball. But yeah, expect a whole bunch of commentary from me. We'll see what Kenny Brooks can do in Kentucky. We'll see what can happen in Richmond. We'll see what happens, right? And then the other teams, they got some votes, include Washington got 79 votes. Ohio State, they're not in the top 25. Yeah, a lot of stuff about them. Anyway, West Virginia, 17, Princeton, 17, Minnesota, Kansas State, Kansas, Stanford, South Dakota State, Illinois, Nebraska, Columbia. I gotta say though, I think Illinois should have got more votes. Just saying. All right. That's it. That's your top 25. That's your look at the top 25. What are your thoughts about it? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the length of this stream. Didn't mean for it to be this long, but unfortunately I have too much to say about these teams. Too much to say in too little time. All right. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Let me find my exit. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.